Heyo, I'm Toasted Ideas, and today I want to go over the topic of something that has just been reignited in my soul from a couple videos that I've been watching lately. That being the idea of women saying that they don't need men, but they want men. And to start off, you may remember a video that I did before, that being the third video I ever created of how people in this day and age, in specifics, are just missing a part of their equation in life that everyone should live by. That being how when people want something, or someone in specific, they should instead find out why they need that thing or person. Which in that video, I slightly went over the topic of women saying that they don't need men, but they want men. And how this video differs from that video is that in this one, I'm going over my personal perspective as a male on women saying that they don't need us. Link for the other video is down in the description. And in short, if you have that rhetoric, it's fine. You can have that speech. But I would never find myself in a relationship where I actively know that the person I'm with is just with me for the sake of them wanting me, but not needing me. It's gross. I like feeling wanted. But if you don't have the prerequisite of needing me, then I don't want you. I personally want a woman to be in a relationship with. But that's because I need a woman to be in a relationship with. I need someone who I can be close to when the walls seem furthest apart, who are not just my friends. Friends are great and all, but they have their own lives apart from my own, and I, someone who doesn't like the perspective of being alone in life, just need someone who isn't apart from my own life, but rather includes me in their life, and the same vice versa. Someone who I can be naked to, physically and metaphorically. Someone who I can just cuddle with for the sake of just needing to hold someone. Or just overall, someone who I can talk to, who isn't myself. I talk to myself too much for my own pleasure, and when I'm the only person who is creating noise for myself, I feel like I go insane. And I'm not saying that I talk a lot. In fact, the very opposite. But when I'm all alone by myself with no one even close to me, when the room is silent aside from the regular sound of a fan, I I just hate the silence. It's usually why I just listen to music or busy myself with something. But I need those moments of silence, as without those moments, I feel like I miss out in just being present in the moment of life. Always doing something, thinking something, stressing over something. And it just clutters up my life to where those moments of silence are needed, but never met over the hate for silence and an overall feeling of me wasting my time and otherwise life. I just need someone who I can sit with for an extended lifetime of nothingness without it feeling like a waste. And then it wouldn't be me wasting time. It would then be replaced by me spending time with a loved one and myself. But to go back to the earlier point of how I just don't need or even want someone who just wants me, and why I think it's gross. Why? Like, why do you want me? I want a yacht. I want a Bugatti. And I also want a mansion. Do I need any of those things? Not in the fridging slightest. What would I even do with a yacht? I'm in a landlocked part of the world with thalassophobia to boot. I want a Bugatti, but why? I can't even use the speed that the Bugatti is well known for due to no speeding limit even coming close to that number. Sure, it looks nice, but I might as well get a Lambo at that rate. I want a mansion, but once again, for what? It's a giant waste of overall space just for the luxury of saying I have money and like burning it. Do you even get what I'm trying to say with this? Everything that I want without needing is just a giant waste of money, time, and energy. Just for the ability to say that I have that thing. So what does that say about me being in a relationship with a person who has that mentality about men? It makes me feel like I'm just an object with no emotion, no thoughts, no ideas, no passions, just a clean slate of nothingness other than a body to be talked at. Sorry, I'm mistaken. A clean slate of nothingness that pays for everything in life, even though they have the attitude of not needing me, while talking at that slate of nothing. Just a brick wall with money stapled to it with the sign that says free therapist. And you know what I find to be the craziest thing about this trend of women saying they don't need men but want men? Is that I have never heard a man ever say that they don't need a woman. And I hear it already. That's because men needed a woman or needed a mom to do their cooking and cleaning. And to that, I say that hindsight, it's 2023. And the chances of talking to a man who doesn't know how to do those things it is a lot slimmer than it used to. And even then, in the general woman today doesn't know how to do the traditional roles that their fathers did before. Whereas the general man today does know how to do the traditional roles that their mothers did before. And when I look at myself, it just looks worse and worse for an outlook of being in a relationship. I, by all measures other than companionship, am able to be completely independent of anyone. I can cook, I can clean, I can fix, or just to put the kibosh on all this, I can do anything I put my hand to work on. I could have an escort for late nights, I could pay for surrogacy if I wanted to have a child in my life, and that child would grow up to be in a better position growing up with just a father than had that child growing up with just a mother. I don't need to worry about protection. I'll just move to a place that allows me to purchase an equalizer, and I don't need to, but I could if I so damn well pleased to. Whereas women need protection, or at least an equalizer. But going from gender via politics, women tend to less populate the positions of getting an equalizer, so in other words, unlikely. Therefore, they need a different form of protection from other people who aren't mentally well or just want to cause pain. As once again, going from biology, women tend to be less physically strong. But to bring this back, if you're unable to come up with something that you need a man for, then what does that even mean? You don't need us for money, but you want us to pay. You don't need us for protection, but if stuff happens, you expect men to go forward. Or to just bring this to a simpler thing, would we even be exclusive? If you're treating me like an item on the shelf for your convenience, then what does that mean for late nights? If you don't need me for those moments, then what kind of weird pretzels are a relationship? I'm there for you to talk about your problems going on, but then you could just go and do that with anyone due to us or due to you not needing me for those moments. Would anything we do be special? No. By the clear statement of not needing me, you wouldn't, in fact, need me for anything special. So, in turn, that means that anything we do isn't special. Us living together isn't special. Us being close to each other isn't special. Us possibly having a child together isn't special. And everything else under those terms of us being in an unspecial relationship isn't special. What a one-dimensional life you must live. So then I ask, what is the purpose of you not wanting, So then I ask, what is the purpose of you wanting a relationship, a marriage, or anything that falls under those terms? Just to have those things? Because we obviously don't already live in an overly consumeristic life, we must also make the most personal things in life a thing for people to just consume, digest, and get rid of. Sad. It's just sad. It's just a sad outlook on life and everything else included within life. Life, living, and death, a one-dimensional thing of nothingness where nothing matters, including yourself. And that is why I would immediately tell someone who has this mentality of not needing men to then just leave me alone. As I realize that I need a woman because without a partner, life just seems one-dimensional with nothing that truly matters. I don't like the outlook of living a life of me, myself, and nobody else, as that seems meaningless to me. Someone who I can live with, someone who I can be exclusive with, someone who I can just have special moments with, or someone to just hold when the ground swears to swallow me whole. Someone to just do stuff with for the shits and giggles in life. Someone who I can trust to not see me as a brick wall with money stapled to it with a sign saying free therapist. Maybe my ideas are on this just dreams, but something I've started saying to myself is why not? Why not shoot for the stars? Find out how hot the sun really is. Try not to get burnt, of course, but maybe the sun isn't actually hot. You should try and find out, because as I look across myself, I see other people who seem to have not gotten burnt, but rather just got older as time flew by them as they traveled upon Earth. But I think that's just about enough for this idea today. It's kinda making me feel miserable about my position, hoping for a life that everyone else around is telling me is just a dream. And maybe it did the same for you, yourself, which, in that case, I would say that you might find a community of people who are just as miserable as yourself within my channel. What's the saying? Misery brings company? And perhaps you'd like to join us for this trip of ideas on life by hitting that subscribe button and becoming a fellow bread bag. And then by going down in the comments and conversing with other people, or perhaps you'd like to argue my point in one way or another. In which case, I enjoy the conversation and all is welcome, especially when inclusive of an intelligent conversation, as that is how people grow within themselves. And perhaps you could hit that like button to have this video reach the ears of people who may not have seen this video. That way they can see it and join the bread box. But I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, have a good one.